Hello and welcome back to my kind of playthrough of the Spaceworld 1997 Pokemon Gold beta demo thing. So I'm just gonna continue going through the debug menu this time, and I'm gonna go through the Pokedex and kind of read off to you the names of the Pokemon in Japanese, maybe discuss some of the meanings behind the names, and yeah. So we'll start off. Remember the last time. We kind of went through this debug menu, so from that, to get to that, again, go to this title screen and press select, and we've got Fight, Field, Sound, Subgame, Monster. So today we want Monster, which means monster or Pokemon, or Pocket Monster. So I'm going to start further down the list, so because the beginning, the first 151 are the original from Red, Blue. I kind of talked a little bit. Fushigi Dane is Bulbasaur, and Fushigi is kind of like a word that means like mysterious, a little bit strange. It's kind of hard to directly translate the word. Maybe think like in some contexts it can almost be like the word that Alanis Morissette meant when she said ironic in her song. Isn't it ironic? So isn't it fushigi? So even though it might be cool to kind of go through some of these old designs and talk about them, I want to start by going all the way to 152. So, because right here, 151, we've got Mew, and that's what's written here. It's just Mewtwo. So this is what Mew looked like. Let's see if I press this. So this Pokemon, I'm sure we all know, is Bayleaf. No, Chikorita. And this Japanese name is Happa. So Happa is literally just like the Japanese word for leaf. If a leaf falls from a tree or something, you pick it up, you can say you got a Happa. So it's not the same as the Happa that is like half Asian people. We're not going to go into that. People have their own opinions. So let's see. Hanemogura. Hanamogura. So Hana is flower. Mogura is mole, like the animal mole, I believe. So it's kind of like flower mole. So you can see that's significantly different than this cute little Chikorita. It turns into this thing that doesn't look anything like it. And then we get back to this, which starts looking like the Chikorita again. So this one's Hanadu. And in this case, I believe that this Du is like dragon. I don't think this Pokemon is a dragon type, but it's kind of, or like dinosaur, like the word for dinosaur is Kyodu. So that Du is there. It's kind of like dragon, dinosaur kind of deal. So it's like flower dragon, but it's not a dragon type. It's just grass type. So we've got this weird little thing. It's got the Nidorina call. Did this one have Nidorina call too? I think all of them have like the Nidoran or Nidorina, whatever call. So we'll go here. So this is kind of like the beta version of Cyndaquil. So Hono Oguma. Hono Oguma. I'm not entirely sure what that might translate to. I'm not going to be able to like interpret every single name. There's plenty of words that I don't know. Because again, I kind of learned Japanese through conversation, so words that don't show up, but at least to give you a chance to hear how it's supposed to be pronounced. So like Honogura. Or sorry, I mispronounced that. Hono Oguma. And it looks like a little bear. So that Guma at the end actually is probably Kuma from Kuma, which means bear. So in Japanese, there's the difference between like a voiced and unvoiced consonant is these little quote looking things up here. And basically, unvoiced is like ku, and gu is the voiced version. Basically, like if you make a K sound, your vocal cords aren't moving, but if you make a gu sound, it's like the same thing as K, but your vocal cords are vibrating. So it's some kind of little bear, some kind of little flamey bear. Hono Kuma. Oop. And then we've got our evolution, Borubea. So this time, instead of the Japanese word for bear, for like the Kuma, they used bea. So just bear. Borubea. It's almost like ball bear. And it's, again, a very interesting design. It kind of looks like a lion bear thing. Or from the back, it looks like Scar from The Lion King a little bit. And then we've got our last evolution, which looks nothing like Typhlosion, but it's Dynabea. So Dynabea, I wonder if that has to do with like dinosaur? I don't know. Maybe there's a theme with dinosaurs. But if you look at the end of this one, you've got this little line here, so it's like bea a. It kind of, this line doubles that last syllable, or mora rather. But this one, it's just bea. So it's said short. So instead of bea, it's just bea. Dynabea. Oops, I keep pressing that. So kurusu. Not sure what that could mean, but kurusu. And it looks like some kind of seal-like dog thing. And then the evolution, kind of interesting evolution. I can see that one. There's definitely more of a connection than that Chikorita to that. I always forget the name. Chikorita Bayleaf. I don't know. But this one is Aqua, or just Aqua. And this one is Aquaria. So just like Aquaria, I guess. Cool. Oh, let's go. Sorry. Back to here. So pretty cool design, actually. The arms are a little bit short, or are they supposed to just have, yeah, it's just these fins. So it's kind of like another dinosaur-looking Pokemon. But it's kind of cool. Obviously, the Feraligatr ended up looking nothing like this in the final game. So we've got Ho-Ho, or no, Hoot Hoot. And his Japanese name, or her Japanese name is Ho-Ho. So just... Sorry, ho-ho. So that ends up just ho-ho is probably the sound an owl makes. And the evolution is, instead of Noctowl, is Bol-Bol. So again, if you look like I was showing you before with the little 10-10 thing here, turns it from voiced ho to bol. And you'll probably be like, wait a minute, you can't voice an H sound. And historically, the unvoiced version was pol, like P, but that kind of changed with language reforms way, way back. So now there's actually most Japanese characters that can be voiced have just these little things here. There's two little quotation marks, but for letters that kind of start with that H sound, they have a little circle instead, which gives it the P sound. So the more you know. So Pachime. So maybe I can check out to see what Pachi might mean in this case, but me is the sound. It's kind of like the Japanese onomatopoeia for like a sheep sound. Let's see. Pachi. If I look up just Pachi, I just get B, which is not right. So yeah, I don't know, because it's it's electric sheep, but I don't know in this case. I'm not going to claim that I know that this Pachi means something to do with electricity. It might not. But I find this design interesting. It almost, like from the back, you can barely tell it's a sheep. It almost looks like a Mankey, like this is the, or a primate, where like this is the front with just no face, and then there's some boxing gloves. But obviously that wasn't what's going on. Mokoko. Again, not quite sure what how to translate the name into like an English meaning, but the name is Mokoko. And we've got Dendu. So this one I can figure out. So Den is like electricity. You'll find it words like Denki is electricity. Dengen is like a power source, like an outlet kind of. So Den is like electricity, and this Du, like we said earlier, was like dinosaur or dragon. So it's kind of like an Electrosaurus. So Dendu or Denryu. Mikon. Okay, so the Japanese name for Vulpix is actually Rokon. So in that case, Kon means tail, and that Ro in Rokon stands for like 6, because if you're counting in Japanese, one way you can count is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that Roku can sometimes just be a ro, depending on using it to like count other objects. And so that term just basically so Vulpix is actually 6 tails in Japanese, and 9 tails is Kyukon, I believe, or Kukon, probably Kyukon. I have to check that up, but Ku or Q ends up meaning 9. So in this case, we've got something else. So this is like a little baby Vulpix. So you've got 3 tails here now, and this meat is one of the ways to say 3 in Japanese. So there's kind of 2 ways of counting, which makes things a little confusing. Like ichi can be 1, but also hitotsu is like 1 thing, and you could, for 2, it could either be futa or ni. 3 could either be san or it can be mitsu. Well, mitsu is kind of counting for 3, but those kind of patterns happen. So there's kind of 2 ways of counting. One's based on old, on the Japanese language, and the other ones kind of came from Chinese readings. So again, the more you know. So we've got Mikon, which just means 3 tails. Monja kind of looks like a Tangela looking guy. Maybe it's a Tangela pre-evolution. Again, I can't say specifically what that would translate to. Maybe the mon comes from like monster. I'm not quite sure what Tangela's name is in Japanese, so that could have something to do with that. And we've got that thing looks kind of silly. So wait, did Monja only have? Oh no, it had both. So this one is ja. So it starts with the ja, like the last one ended. So this one's jarana, jaranda, jaranda. Again, not quite sure. Maybe it's got to do with like the Tangela. Maybe Tangela is. I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna look this up so that I can answer definitively. Tangela. So let's see what Tangela is in Japanese. So Tangela is monjara. So monjara. So we've got monjara. Then we've got the pre-evolution, I guess, would be monja. So they added the ra later. So monja, then monjara, and then this one's jarana, jaranda. And let's see. I wonder if that's what became Tangrowth. So Tangrowth kind of looks similar to that, but the Japanese name for Tangrowth ended up being Moljambo, which is a little different. It's not Jarana. So if you want to kind of pronounce this more Englishy, you could say like Jaranra, but that one doesn't really roll. Excuse me, that one doesn't roll off the tongue so well. This one's Hanei. Hanei. So Hanei kind of looks like Togekiss, but I think that's kind of cool. So you've got like, I'm guessing this is like the bottom up view and this is like the top down or something. Or this is like, so if this was flying overhead or something, you'd see one face and you'd see the other behind. Or maybe it was a swimming type Pokemon that looks kind of like a flying type, because this tail kind of reminds me of maybe like an eel-like tail, maybe. Not sure about that. Oops. This one's puku. So maybe it's supposed to be like, so this is, like I said, so this would be fuku, which kind of has that Japanese H, but it's romanized as an F, but it's got that little circle there, so that makes it the P sound. And this is ku. But if you kind of reverse this, if you took this off, this would be fu. And this, if you put those little tens over here, this, you would have gu. This would turn to gu, so it would become fugu, like the fish fugu. The fugu fish that if you don't prepare it right and you eat it, you will die. So this is based on a fugu fish or a blowfish. I gotta stop exiting that. Ooh, this is an ugly looking guy. Is this guy in the final one? Because I think that one was quillfish in English, am I right? So quillfish is not known to evolve into other Pokemon. So this looks like it was an evolution for quillfish. Shibere fugu. Shibire fugu. So shibire fugu. Don't know what the shibire is supposed to be in this case, but again, if you wanted to know what the name is in English, or how to say it in English rather, there you go. This little ball looking Pichu, and the Japanese name here, it's just Pichu. So the name is basically the same in English, but they kind of went with the original Pikachu design, which didn't really have a neck, and they just made him a little ball. But it doesn't look like they spent a whole ton of time with this design. The final result is a lot better. All this one's a lot more adorable. Kind of reminds me of like a Kirby type guy. Pete. Oh, what was P supposed to be? So what is this? Is this like baby Clefairy? Like yeah, I'm gonna guess that's what it's supposed to be. It's like the, what is it? Not Clefable? Clefairy, Wigglytuff. Yeah. No, Wigglytuff is Jigglypuff. What was Clefairy's pre-evolution called? I haven't played these Pokemon games for a long time, so a little bit rusty on. It's Cleffa. And the name Pete stayed in English, in Japanese for the final version too. The Japanese name for Clefairy is Pee-Pee. So that's kind of an interesting name. I think that showed up in the gameplay at some point, which if you're interested in, check out some of my other videos. There'll be a little bit more action. This one's just kind of going through a menu, not so much exploration or anything, but still kind of interesting. So this one's Pupurin. So Jigglypuff's name in Japanese is Pudding, which is basically the same as saying pudding. And this one's like pudding. And this one is Igglybuff, I believe, in English now. Let's see. Mizuo. So the first part, mizu, is just like water in Japanese. That just means water. And the o could be maybe the type of animal it's supposed to be based off of, or I know o can be like king, but I don't know. Maybe he's supposed to be water king. This one's Neti. So this one's Neti. So not Natu, but Neti. Which is interesting because Natu seems like one of the more Japanese style names that didn't really get kind of translated into a different name in English. This one's Natio. It's kind of a weird one. Natio. Gyopin. So Gyopin looks like a baby Goldeen. Mariru. So Mariru, Meryl, basically kept the name in English. just less Japanesey. What is this? Mambo Ichi? Mambo 1? I don't know. That's interesting that they went with a number. Does that evolve into this? So you've got this kind of this guy right here that evolves into the Sharpedo. This one's Ikari. So it's not so shark. What was shark in Japanese again? I don't think that it's any of those characters. Double check again. Yeah, same. So same is Japanese for shark. So I don't know what this. Maybe it has to do with the anchor. Maybe anchor. No, anchor just turned into anka. Actually, ikari is the word for anchor. Or wrath. But it looks like, yeah, ikari means anchor in Japanese, so his name basically just means anchor. Grotesque. So grotesque or grotesque, but probably based on the word grotesque. And I'm pretty sure that one stayed in the English version as well, or in the final release. Ekushingu. So Ekushingu, probably Eku, the way the Japanese pronounce X is Ekisu or Ekusu? Ekusu. Yeah, so Ekusu, so it probably comes from the Ekusu, the Eku. So it's probably just like X, wing, kind of. They kind of combined X and wing to Xing. Although it looks like they forgot one of his wings in the back sprite, or they didn't have time to finish that. Para. So this looks like a pre-evolution for Paris. So I'm guessing Paris is probably in Japanese just parasu, and this one's just para. They just took off the su at the end. Kokumo. So kumo is the Japanese word for spider, and the ko at the beginning probably is if it was written in kanji, would be the kanji for child, which is like ko. So like a baby puppy, for example, the word for dog in Japanese is inu, and a puppy is koinu. So that ko is probably just like baby spider. Oh, it looks almost the same as Spinarak. Doesn't look much smaller. This one's Shiheto. No, not Shiheto. I misread that. This is Tsuheto. So probably two head, because it's got one fake face and one real face. Yoroi Dori. So the Dori at the end, this Dori is probably from Tori, which means bird, and I believe Yoroi is like armor, so it's like armor bird. And I don't think I went over it in my playthrough, but if you use the PC in the demo mode, not the debug mode, it kind of talks about this Pokemon that they discovered. It's like a new type that's not just bird, it's metal. Let's see. Animon. So this Animon. The Japanese name for Ditto is Metamon. So this one's Animon. So I don't know what the Ani is supposed to be referencing. Could just mean animated. I don't know. But that's interesting that this would be either an evolution or pre-evolution for Ditto, because Ditto just kind of copies another Pokemon and their stats. So be curious to see what they had planned for like an evolution or a pre-evolution. Because again, Ditto knows a move. So what would this pre-evolution be doing? Or post-evolution be doing? Or just evolution, not post-evolution. So this is probably the baby version of Doduo, I would guess. Let's see. Hinazu. Hinazu. So the name of this Pokemon is Hinazu. So I'm not sure, again, how this would necessarily translate to English. Maybe. I'm not sure. It might be some bird language, bird words that I don't know. But again, his name is Hinazu, if you're curious about that. Sunny. So Sunny. I think this turned into what? Sunflora? Or something like that. Yeah, Sunflora. And he was introduced. So this one basically looks the same as the final release. Pawn. So Pawn. I think it was Phanpy was the evolution of this, unless this is Phanpy. But Japanese name here is Pawn. And I don't know, because the word in Japanese for elephant is zo, so it's not based on an elephant. At least the name isn't, unless there's some other word that, again, I might not know. Let's see. This one's Donphan. So Donphan, which I believe is pretty much the same as the English name ended up being. Twinzu. So basically just twins. The name is just twins. Twinzu. I wonder if this was like related to the Ghastly Haunter line, but that would kind of give them a fourth evolution, so maybe this one was meant to be a branching evolution of Haunter or something. They do have that kind of Haunter face. Or maybe it was just meant to be a nude ghost type altogether. But Tsuinzu. I think I talked about this one in my playthrough. Oh man, I haven't seen it from behind. That's kind of creepy to see the full dark version of the giraffe head instead of the little ball head that we ended up with in the final release. But his name is Kiriniki. So again, each of these ki, di, n, di, ki. Other than this is the only kind of single consonant in the Japanese language, but each of these have a consonant vowel pair. So in English, it's giraffe rig, which is a palindrome. It's read the same backwards and forwards. This one in Japanese, still a palindrome. Ki, di, n, di, ki. You can kind of see that they're the same thing twice, but it's not like a palindrome would be in English, where this would end up kind of not fitting those guidelines. You know, instead of Kirin Diki, it would be like Kirin Idik. So, kind of fun fact about, again, the language. And Kirin is just the Japanese word for giraffe. So it's like, just like giraffe rig is giraffe palindromized, this is the palindrome of giraffe in Japanese too. This name is Painta, so just painter. Pretty self-explanatory. Kind of, again, the sprite's a little different. He's got this little butt-looking knees going on down here. But yeah, so. But again, I think that some of these names, even though it's an English word, painter, if they just called it painter in English too, people would be like, that's kind of a, haphazardly made name. Like they didn't really try, no effort name. So Smeargle sounds a little bit more, Pokemon-y. Because if you're like in the Japanese language, if you speak Japanese, painta, maybe painter is used to describe people who paint too. But painta is not a Japanese word, so it's when it's attached to a Pokemon, it's still going to sound like a new word to Japanese people, maybe. Konya. So this looks like a baby mouth. So there's that ko, like I said before, that means like child or like little. So konya. So it's like little meow. Because the word in Japanese for meow is nyan. So it's like little meow. We've got rin. So rin is kind of the Japanese onomatopoeia for ringing of bells. The sound that bells make. if anybody's familiar with Kari Pamyu Pamyu. There's a song, I think it's Yume no Hajimari Nin. So it's like kind of a play on words for the ringing start of a dream. Guess the joke doesn't translate so well into English, but the word for beginning is hajimari, and they just turned the hajimari to hajimarin din to make it cutesy, I guess. Let's see, berurun. So beru is bell, and I guess the run is maybe like lunar. Maybe it comes from that word for moon, because it kind of looks like a moon crescent shape on its forehead. So maybe it's like lunar bell, loon, berurun. This one is nyoroton. Sorry. Nyorotono. Not quite sure how to translate that one, but again, that's kind of how it's pronounced. Nyorotono. Yado King. So I'm gonna look up what Yado is. It might be, I think I said in my playthrough, it might mean slow, but slow is like osoi, or there's words. Chikoku means like you're tardy. But Yado is probably like salamander, maybe. In. No, it's not in. Again, it's with like kanji, you can kind of gather meaning a little bit easier because there's so many homophones in Japanese. So if you have no context, it's hard to tell exactly what they mean. I couldn't tell you exactly what. Well, let me look up what salamander might be in Japanese and see if that gives me anything. Salamander. Saramanda. Yeah, I don't know. But the kingu is pretty obvious. It's got the crown. It's the slow king. This Pokemon is missing number. It says Ankon. Couldn't tell you what it's supposed to be. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to skip that. Just trying to see what the deal is with that Ankon, because it kind of like lags up here a little bit. Okay. Just probably looking really hard for it. So the next Pokemon here is Ladybug. So Ladybug, pretty self-explanatory. It's just kind of a Ladybug. Mitsuboshi. Okay. So Mitsu, it's like, I think we were talking earlier, like that Mitsu could mean 3. So 3. Boshi comes from Hoshi, except for it's got this little 10s right here. So Mitsuboshi just means 3 stars, because it's got 3 stars on its little shell thing. And I wonder if those are supposed to be its eyes, or if these are its real eyes, like a real ladybug, where those big white spots are not actually the eyes. So this is Puchikon. I wonder if that kon has to do with the tail. I wonder what Puchi could mean. Puchi. Small? Maybe kon is like pony. I know that like a horse is uma. And that kon by itself like that would just mean corn. So, not quite sure what the kon means. It might mean the tail, ponyta, but this pachikon is probably small tail, something like that. This is Efi. So, Effie, I guess. forget the name of this Pokemon in actuality. I don't think it looks like this though anymore. Espeon? This is Umbreon. Right, this is Espeon. So this is F, and this is Umbreon. So this one is Buraki. Blackie. Buraki. So they called him Blackie. That's probably no problem there if they just release this Pokemon in English with that name. Taban. So it sounds like turban, but it's like a shell, and it looks like the Pokemon that's on Slowking's head, or Slowpoke's tail, or one of those things. Slowbro's tail, Slowking's head. Beto baby. So beto is like sticky, kind of sloppy in Japanese, and baby is just baby. So it's like sticky baby, and I think this is the pre-evolution to Grimer. Teppo. There was that move. I think it was like Mizudeppo. That was water gun. So that Deppo is like the Teppo here. It means gun, and maybe that O is like a type of fish, because it was another fish Pokemon that had that attached to it. So basically, gunfish. And Remoraid, I believe, is what this one was now. Definitely looks more gun-like here. It's got the barrel and everything. Doesn't look like that now. And this one looks more like a tank. Okutan. So probably Okutan is like octopus plus tank. The ok and tank. Ok tank. So Okutan. The actual word for octopus in Japanese is tako. So if you go to Japan and you're looking for a place to get some tacos, make sure you add su at the end, or else you'll be eating some octopuses, octopus, octopode, octopodes, whatever. Gongu. Looks like some kind of pre-evolution for something. Gongu. Not quite sure what it should be though. Maybe it's maybe this is what turned into that little Hitmonchan pre-evolution kind of guy. Forget his name though. Tyro, something like that maybe. Capoeira. Oh no. Capoeira. Capoeira. Yeah, don't know how again that would be translated, but there's its name in Japanese. Capoeira. Pudi. Oh, it's a little. Is that supposed to be Baby Growlithe? Pudi. Pudi. That's a nice name. Haneko. I think we talked about this. The ha is probably leaf, and neko is cat, so it's like leaf cat. Popo neko. Popo. Maybe like bouncy. I don't know. I'm just guessing on that one. Or maybe Popo is like. I'm not gonna guess. I'm not gonna make things up, but definitely looks more cat-like. It's got like a tail and cat ears. And this one is Wataneko. And so maybe Popo is like budding or something, and this is blooming. Maybe. I'm just guessing with that, but it's Wataneko. Baririna. So just probably ballerina. Baririna. Rippu. Just Rippu is probably lip, because it's got big lips. No blackface comments there. None of that controversy. It's kind of based on that gyaru culture in Japan. So if you look up gyaru, you'll see a lot of girls that put on way too much tan, have big lipstick. It's not a blackface thing. It's just a really crappy fashion trend. Ere baby. So that probably ere is probably electricity. Ere, because that sound can be an L or an R if you translate it into English. And baby is baby, so Elekid, probably. And Bubi. So I don't know the Japanese name for Magmar, but probably Bubi is related to that. And it's like that, and baby turned it into Booby, but now it's just Booby. Hi, Booby. Kirei hana. Kirei means pretty or beautiful, and hana is flower, so it's beautiful flower. That's ugly banana peel. That's a tsubomito. Don't know what it means, but tsubomito. Miru tanku. So milk tank, basically the same again. Bomushika. Oh, it's hard. Okay, so it's got a, maybe that's the bomb, but it's like a little flaming thing, and it's bouncing it on its head. Cool. Gifto. His name is basically just gift. So it looks like Santa Claus, so he probably brings a gift. Gifto. Oh, this little ball tiger is pretty cute. Kotora. I think Tora is tiger in Japanese, and ko, again, it's like baby, child, little. So a little tiger. Raitora. Raitora. That Rai could have to do with like electricity, maybe. Maybe. Again, no kanji, I'm not sure. Let's see. Madame. So it's like madam. Madame. Looks like a blingin' goose. Just trying to show you its bling, but it doesn't have any, so just kind of showing you its hand. Noruwara. Noruwara. So probably something to do with cactuses. Let's see, what's the word for cactus in Japanese? Cactus is kakutasu. Yeah, that's not useful. Yeah, not sure what that could be. But oh, that's a weird looking panda guy. Kyonpan. So don't know what the kyun is, but the pun is probably from panda or panda. Yami karasu. Yami karasu. Don't know what yami is, but karasu is the Japanese word for crow. Let's see, what does yami mean? Darkness. Yami is darkness. That makes sense with the kanji. Right, so dark crow, and I'm pretty sure that's basically what the name is in English. Happy. It's happy. So I think this is what Clefairy evolved into before they made a reasonable looking evolution. A little heart head. Actually, this thing's kind of cool looking. I don't know. Shizasu. Shizasu. So scissors, basically. Shizasu. Purakusu. Purakusu. So plucks, maybe? Like a tweezer would pluck things. He purakusu. That's probably what it is, but it looks like an evolution of pincer, which is pretty cool. I don't know if we ever saw that. Or maybe it was meant to be Heracross. Debiru. So Debiru is Debiru devil. So this basically just means devil. And Heruga, Helga, maybe because it's got hell in the name. Helga, because it's fiery and doomy. Because this one is like Houndour and Houndoom. And I think there was the guy with the Heruga in the Pokemon Center in Silent Hill. Not the game Silent Hill, but the town, if you looked at the previous playthrough. Urufaman. Don't know what that means, but Urufaman. Urufaman. I wonder if Urufu is... Urufu... That's probably how they say wolf, because they don't tend to use wolf. like a WO sound in actual words. It's kind of a grammatical particle, and even then, it's usually just pronounced O, except for maybe like song lyrics or different dialects. But Urufuman, so it probably means wolfman. Hi, wolfman. Urufuman. This is Warufu. Warufu. So it's kind of like werewolf, maybe? Walf. Walf. Werewolf, I guess. I don't know. Something like that. Porygon 2. Oh, Porygon. Porygon. So Porygon. So you've got, so that's Porygon 2. Oh, that's not Porygon 2. That's a monstrosity. So we've got Porygon 2. The original design, it's less Porygon looking. This one looks like a little bear. I kind of like this, but maybe as its own thing and not as a Porygon. Nameru. Nameru. So nameru is to kind of lick something. So nameru. So they just took the me and extended it. So nameru, because it's got a long tongue, I guess. Nameru. It's like lick. Haganeru. So hagane is like steel, and maybe neru is supposed to be like nail, I guess. So, but steelix, so it's like steel nail maybe, because it does kind of look like a nail, just a flexible nail that would be very useless. Kingu Dora. Dora, so maybe like king dragon. So the Dora is like Doragon, dragon, and Kingu is king. So king dragon. And that became King Dra, the shortened version of Doragon, Dora Dra, King Dra. Now it makes sense in English. There's a lot of that stuff. It kind of starts making sense if you understand how Japanese people like to abbreviate words. Night. This one looks kind of electric-y. Rai. Night. Maybe it's got to do with the type of dog, though. Maybe it's like lion. Lion. Night. Probably some combo of those. N. N. So this is probably Entei, the original version of Entei. It's like a little doggy. It looks more dog-like. I think the final versions are kind of an ambiguous mix between dogs and cats. This one looks... there's still a little bit ambiguity here, but the head definitely looks doggy-like. So N. This one's Sui. This is the emo version of Suikun, probably. So they turn N into Entei. We've got Sui into Suikun. Or Suikun. That something looks weird, though. It looks like it's got casts on it. That hair is... So, and that pose, that's that, like, lone wolf-looking pose thing that you see in, I don't know, those, like, pictures where the wolf is howling at the moon. I don't know. He looks very sad, though, and lonely. Nura. Don't know what it's supposed to be, but that looks kind of interesting. Ho. So, going character by character. Ho, u, o, u, ho. Ho. In Japanese, it just ends up being just this long syllable, but it turned into ho-o in English, probably to separate, maybe. Maybe in Japanese, they would read it naturally, just ho-o, ho-o, but I don't think they would pause. I think it would just be ho. Togepi. This one's the same name in English as it is in Japanese. Togepi. Buru. So probably Buru is not blue, not like Pika-Buru, but actually bull. Like Buru. Bull. That's how they would probably turn bull into a word that Japanese people say is Buru. Tairu. Or teiru. So te is like hand. Don't know what the iru is for. Teiru. It's probably got to do with this type of animal. It's not monkey. Monkey is saru. So maybe it's teiru. Maybe they combine te and saru and made. I don't know. But I think that turned into 8-bone. Leafy. So this is just leafy and probably Leafeon. And that looks like it does it for all of those Pokemon. So that was probably a longer episode. I'm not going to cut this one up. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed watching that. Hopefully you learned something and got some interest in the learning about the names of Pokemon, seeing some of those designs. I know there's tons of videos out there that kind of go over them. I just wanted to take my own interpretation on that, kind of my own way of explaining what more in depth about what the Pokemon were kind of meant to be and the names behind them, because I'm kind of trying to explain the Japanese and help people maybe learning the language themselves. So thanks for watching. If you watched the whole thing, more power to you. Thanks so much. And I'll see you next time. We'll probably take a look at some more Overworld, or maybe I'll look at some of the sub games. So yeah, take it easy. Bye.